Thank you, Irina. I will be presenting the counterpoint, focusing on universally desirable leadership attributes and behaviors. Globalization presents special challenges for leaders today. Companies must deal with diverse cultures across and within countries. So leaders need to work within a global, multicultural atmosphere. Now, by overemphasizing the attributes and behaviors that work within a particular cluster, leaders can create rigidities and incompatibilities in their leadership models. Therefore, I believe that leaders should focus on universally desirable attributes and behaviors rather than country clusters. Moving on to the next slide. The Globe research has identified universally desirable attributes and behaviors that were endorsed by 17,000 people in 62 different countries. Some of these attributes include trustworthiness, positivity, and intelligence, which are intuitive. And the leadership behaviors include charismatic leadership, team-oriented leadership, and participative leadership. Moving on to the next slide. Leaders should use the Globe research as a roadmap to creating globally effective leaders. Now, a good example of how these attributes and behaviors can and do work on a global scale can be found in the Anglo business culture, which emphasizes charismatic leadership, participative leadership, and humane-oriented leadership. Now, America has been said to be the global king of business. And it has been said that the American way is the paradigm of success in business. For that reason, American management and leadership principles are taught all over the world, as far as China and India. Therefore, it can be said that the Anglo cluster's attributes and behaviors have relatively high compatibility with most other clusters, as well as the global business class in general. Moving on to the next slide. Let's talk about charismatic leadership. Now, tons of research has associated charismatic leadership with positive outcomes, ranging from leader effectiveness to job satisfaction and high performance of teams. We can find evidence of this dynamic by looking at the studies of the groups performed in 2000 and the studies of Judge and Piccolo done in 2004. Now, transformational leadership is also recognized to be globally effective. This type of leadership boosts morale and motivation across cultures. Motivation and morale have no barriers. Now, evidence of this dynamic can be found in the studies of Nuttleworth performed in 2007, titled Transformational Leadership. This study covered the experiences of countless expatriate managers who were sent on assignments overseas and attested to the fact that some management and leadership attributes do work globally regardless of culture or country. Moving on to the next slide. Now, globalization is key here. The reason why it's so important to emphasize the globally desirable attributes is because we live in a globalized world. And some countries, such as America, are incredibly diverse in culture within its borders. Now, the book, The World is Flat by Thomas Friedman, once again shows evidence that globally desirable attributes do work across different cultures. Research has proven these attributes and behaviors to work. So why should global companies not focus on these aspects of leadership? Moving on to the next slide. Now, to conclude, some do believe that country cluster attributes are more important and that effective leadership depends on the context and the people involved. There is validity to that. But others, like myself, believe that universally desired attributes are more important, especially when dealing with multinational corporations. Thank you.